Now I'll turn to our city clerk for roll call.
I think my new assistant did a good job. So we'll start with him. Commissioner Moody.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner O'Connor.
Present.
Commissioner Repart.
Here.
Commissioner Lanier.
Present.
Commissioner Isasi.
Present.
Mayor Bliss.
Yes, thank you, city clerk. All right. Next, that will take us to our first opportunity for public comment. And before I turn to that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Lily Beth. She's available tonight if anyone needs assistance with translation services. We have two opportunities for public comment tonight. One is the first opportunity, and that will be to comment on anything that we're voting on today. So earlier today, we had a number of standing committee meetings and we discussed and voted on items. And so if you want to speak to those action items, that will be the first opportunity. And then the second opportunity will be for anything else that is not on our agenda. So you would call in at 456-3000 or 311, hit number 1, and then number 1 for the first opportunity. Again, that's to for action items or items we're voting on tonight. And then our second opportunity for public comment, you would dial that same number, hit 1 and then 5. A couple rules for our public comment period. We ask that you share your name, the city that you live in. You'll be given up to 3 minutes to speak. And in the first opportunity, we ask you to be really explicit about what action item you're speaking about. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Lily Beth, and then we'll open up public comment.
Thank you, Mayor Bliss. Good evening, everyone. If you need interpretation services to address the City Commission, I will be able to assist. Please dial 456-3000 or 311 and choose the option you wish to speak on tonight. Buenas noches. Si necesita servicios de interpretación para dirigirse a la Comisión de la Ciudad, estaré disponible para ayudarle. Marque el 456-3000 o el 311 y elija la opción en la que desea hablar esta noche. Gracias.
Thank you, Lily Beth. All right, so I'll open up the first opportunity for public comment, and this is comment on agenda items tonight. And if you want to call in on a specific agenda item, the number is 456-3000 or 311. You hit number 1 and then number 1. So I will turn to Daniel to see if we have anyone in the queue.
Here comes the first caller.
Thank you, Daniel.
Caller, can you please lower the volume on your device? Thank you. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and the city in which you live and the agenda item you're speaking on. You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Could you please put a stop clock somewhere? My name is Scott Asherson, and I'm a City of Grand Rapids resident. And I'm here to speak about item number 4, community development, which you will be voting on tonight, about the upgrades and changes coming to Rosa Parks Circle this year. You know, Rosa Parks Circle is city-owned property, a city park at the main downtown intersection of Pearl and Monroe. But by design, in the mid-1970s, the city of Grand Rapids made a very wise decision to tear down some really old buildings from the old Market Avenue that went all the way up to Monroe Center, all the way down to Pearl, tear down the old buildings and build a nice open space park plaza, which we now call Rosa Parks Circle. I mean, it was a great job that the city of Grand Rapids did. You know, and I'm sure, you know, you guys have all heard the press releases and news stories in the past couple months about the $2.1 million upgrades and changes coming to Rosa Parks Circle this year, in part from the Fry Foundation. But I did learn from item number 4, community development, that the city of Grand Rapids is going to be giving $250,000 to this project, $250,000, and the Downtown Development Authority of the city of Grand Rapids will be giving $300,000. You know, by design, the main downtown intersection is Pearl and Monroe. But, you know, I want to save you guys, you know, $100,000 in consulting fees. I've told you this before. You guys need, at the main downtown intersection at Rosa Parks Circle, is build a state-of-the-art information center that will make other cities jealous. You know, and you need to do it this year because you're spending, you know, over $2 million on renovations to the park. What I'm saying is the northwest corner of Rosa Parks Circle, the little hill behind the statue of Rosa Parks Circle, should be leveled and a foundation poured a couple hundred square feet with conduit, and you can run electrical cables for a future information center. You know, we can debate all day what type of information center is better, electronic kiosks or humans. I'm for humans, but we should have both. But how much time do I have left?
You have 40 seconds, sir.
40 seconds. I'm not trying to, the $2.1 million for this project, 550,000 coming from the city. I'm not complaining about the money. There's a lot of money in downtown Grand Rapids. I've seen the statement. But what I'm telling you is you need to build a year-round, state-of-the-art information center right there at Pearl and Monroe at the main downtown intersection, at Rose Park. And I'd like to say thank you to my city commissioner who called and we talked for a while today, and she got me a few answers from the Downtown Development Authority. You've heard my story before. I think we need an information center, and humans are better than
That's 3
kiosks.
minutes. Thank you, sir.
All right, Daniel. Oh, go.
Yep. Caller, you're on with the City Commission. Please state your name, the city in which you live, and the agenda item you wish to speak on. You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
A very pleasant good evening. Watchdog Miller reporting in to the House of the People. About 4 matters here, which I believe are on your agenda. Sidewalk plowing, wealthy is mentioned predominantly in a paper, yet you're pulling off the wealthy bus route and dumping it onto East Fulton. So you have 2 routes running there with a minute or 2 apart. And wealthy has had transit service going back to 1874 now. It looks like you are retaliating against Catholic Central for winning its 10th state football championship, and you bring over another route to the city's only abortion clinic at 320 East Fulton. Now, East Fulton's already bike lane to death thanks to Nelson Nygaard, which also had the Rapid Consulting contract in this. Nelson Nygaard has done some 241 miles of sidewalks on bike lanes on the city, but just about no bus lanes whatsoever. On the arena, the amphitheater, totally unnecessary. It's going to be disruptive. It's going to cost you more to replace those convenient city services that are there than what you get back from them. And there's a bit of conflict of interest on this and duplicate boards. That particular space did house the Island Park, baseball park, back in 1898. The Cleveland Indians played there, moved out about 1900, became the Spiders, and now they're called by many still, the Indians. And that was originally the American League. And Milwaukee moved to St. Louis, Baltimore moved to Manhattan and the Bronx. Sidewalk plowing, only 100,000. That's pathetic. You're blowing 600 grand alone on electric bikes and scooters, totally unnecessary. And where are they right now? They're mostly taking up spaces that were long-time streetcar or bus stops in Grand Rapids. So it's another provocative program, and well, I think I've covered everything. If not, the Rapid program is extremely disruptive, but I'll be getting back to you on that. We can't live without a central bus route on Wealthy, and no one is looking into that. Thank you ever so much, Watchdog Miller, reporting into the House of the People.
That's 3 minutes. Thank you. Mayor, there's no one left in the queue.
All right, thank you, Daniel. We'll go ahead and close that opportunity for public comment, and that will take us to approval of the minutes. And these are of our minutes from our January 26th meeting. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All right, moved and supported. Commissioners, any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I'll turn to our city clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Isasi,
Yes.
Commissioner Repart,
Yes.
Commissioner Lanier,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Connor,
Yep.
Commissioner Moody,
Yes.
Mayor Bliss.
Yes, it carries. All right, next that will take us to petitions and communication.
The first one is there's 6 communications received expressing opposition to an urban campground.
That is received and filed.
Communication received from Marthea Daling Jager regarding the city's 5-year plan, CDBG outcomes and institutions.
That is received and filed.
Communication received from Jolanda Howe regarding the Consolidated Housing and Community Development Plan.
That is received and filed.
Communication from Karen McCarthy regarding their resignation from the Urban Forestry Committee.
That's referred to Committee on Appointments.
And communications received from Sky Atchison regarding a downtown information center and changes to Rosa Parks Circle.
And that is also received and filed. All right, that will take us to reports of city officers.
Comptroller's report for the period of January 13, 2021 through January 26, 2021 in the amount of $23,170,828.05.
That is received and filed.
And Treasury report for the period of January 9, 2021 through January 22, 2021.
And that is also received and filed. All right, Commissioners, next that will take us to our consent agenda. So our consent agenda are items that we talked about and voted on earlier where there was a unanimous vote. So tonight with one voice vote, we'll adopt those items. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All right, moved and supported, Commissioners. Any additional questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I'll call the vote. I'll turn to our city clerk to call the vote.
Commissioner Repart,
Yes.
Commissioner Lanier,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Connor,
Yes.
Commissioner Moody,
Yes.
Commissioner Isasi,
Yes.
Mayor Bliss.
Yes, it carries. Commissioners, we do not have any scheduled public hearings tonight, so that will take us to our last opportunity for public comment. So we'll go ahead and open up this opportunity. And again, the same rules apply to us that you share your name, the city that you live in, and you'll be given up to 3 minutes to speak. And I'll turn to Daniel to open up this public comment period.
Yes, at this time, there's no one in the queue. I don't know if we're caught up to live.
All right, City, can you tell me when we're caught up?
Yep, I'm watching, but it's probably 10 more seconds.
Okay, thank you. So we'll give this a few seconds.
And we are caught up now.
All right, Daniel, is there anyone in the queue?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll close that opportunity for public comment, and I will turn to my colleagues around this table. And I will start with Commissioner O'Connor.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, not a lot to say. Just we did make a pretty big move today with the agreement to sell the property on the river to our friends at the Convention Arena Authority. And I'm really hopeful that the proceeds and the outcomes of that are going to provide a much better public interaction with the river in the future. It's going to provide some resources to be able to reinvest in housing outcomes here in Grand Rapids. And I'm really hopeful that this is going to be a long-term win for people in Grand Rapids, for taxpayers, and we're going to be able to do really good things and have an additional entertainment venue downtown that's going to continue to make Grand Rapids a premier destination for people to want to come and enjoy live outdoor entertainment, which I think is even more important given the current situation. Being outdoors continues to be the safest option, and so having an additional outdoor entertainment venue is going to be important for the future of Grand Rapids.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner Lanier?
I'll make it quick. Thank you to Scott for Atchison for all of his efforts and his idea about the center for the public. I'm forgetting exactly what he calls it. Information center? Yeah, information center. And he's probably been coming to the commission as long as I've been a commissioner with this idea. And I actually believe that what he is expressing is necessary. And I've said that to him since the first time he's come. And I think that Tim Kelly and his team have taken Scott's suggestions and they've done some research, and they've come back with kind of the best practices for providing information to visitors. To the point that Commissioner O'Connor was just making about Grand Rapids being a destination place and having, a variety of entertainment options. When you're doing that, you are attracting people who aren't residents. And so to be able to provide them with the necessary information to navigate through the city or downtown, I think is helpful. I think Tim and his responses recently regarding the kiosk, as well as arming the ambassadors that are located downtown, is the solution to providing information. I think Scott's suggestion about having even a location for city related materials for people to purchase and having those in a central location as opposed to in the museum with limited hours, I think is another good idea. And I think they're just all, it's challenging to implement. I think the idea that Scott has the exact way that he's suggesting, but I am appreciative of Tim and his time and his team with the time that they've taken into trying to integrate that suggestion into their GR Forward plan, as well as into this some of the more recent ideas about the kiosk. So I want to thank them for that. And then I think the other point that I wanted to make was just, well, I'll close there. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let's see, let's go to Commissioner Repart next.
Thanks, Mayor. I don't have much to say either, although I do want to thank the city manager and Ms. Claren for the information this morning. I was kind of, the cat got my tongue this morning. I didn't have a whole lot to say because it is kind of a sobering reality for us all to grapple with and think through how we need to adjust our expectations. And yet I appreciate everybody's hopefulness for the future, because we certainly have seen our business community in town here pivot and pivot again, and it's our turn to do some of those same things. So I am appreciative of the hyper-local policy that we re-upped this morning at fiscal, and my colleague Commissioner O'Connor and Commissioner Jones were big and pushing for that to get off the ground. And so as we head into Valentine's Day, if you can take the ones that you love out to eat at somewhere local, that's every little bit helps at this point in supporting our local economy and our local businesses. And yeah, thanks for a good day. It's a light agenda tonight, but appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Isasi?
Thank you. I just have a couple things to say. One is thank you to Jen Schaub and many others who organized the listening sessions for us last week. We talked a little bit about it at our last commission meeting as they were getting that scheduled. And, I think that one, it was well organized, well put together. I thank city staff for being there as well. And it's a reminder that there is not one single truth. We have many truths about how people feel and how they interact with the city. And so it was great to be able to have a convening body, especially right now. Joel, you sent our survey about how many hours do you spend doing this? And so, we're not doing as many of those events out in public really at all. We're just kind of seeing people and doing these Zoom meetings. So I really appreciate that. So thank you. And I just, as a personal point of privilege, last week I walked over to DeVos Place and got my first shot of the COVID vaccine. I was able to get this because of my day job, and my husband received his second vaccine yesterday. And so deciding to take the vaccine was easy for us. I think for many others, it will take other things. And I appreciate all of our healthcare partners in this region who are sharing stories, sharing different examples about what that looks like. And so we felt it was necessary to take our spot and do our part to vaccine up. And I'm just really grateful that we had that opportunity. And if people have that opportunity in the future, do the research for them. I know Commissioner Jones was on a panel, I believe yesterday or Monday, yesterday was Monday. Sorry. And so, just that continuing conversation about, it's kind of like voting. You never want people to feel bad if they're not going to do it. You really share your story about why you decided to get vaccinated. And for me, it was for my family and for this community in the hopes of being all together in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm glad to hear that, by the way. Next, let's go to Commissioner Moody.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have no comment other than just to thank the city of Grand Rapids for being who it is and the city staff for working with you and the city manager. It's cold outside. I pray that everybody be safe.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner Jones?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to also extend a thanks to City Manager Washington and our CFO, Ms. Claren, for the presentation on this morning. Appreciative of the information. And as has been said, very sobering, but I think most importantly, it's just good for us to know, as well as for the community to know in terms of what's before us. And I want to take an opportunity also, if I can, to lift up two people in our community. I want to recognize them. One is more of a sad note, and the other is really worthy of a celebration. Actually, both are worthy of a celebration. First is I want to recognize Sekou Smith, who passed away at the end of January. Many who on the commission may know of Sekou, who was a award-winning NBA reporter and journalist and TV analyst. He was born and raised here in Grand Rapids, graduate of Central High School, Jackson State. He was a husband, a father. He was a brother as well. And he died from complications of COVID and was again, someone who very much, I know a lot of folks here in our beloved city looked up to Sekou because he was that one who actually did very well, extremely well, and was always representing the 616. And so I really want to just give send out love and condolences to the Smith clan here in town, very big family, and again, significant loss to not just the family, but also to our community as well. Also want to recognize a beloved Shannon Cohen, who many of you know is a local entrepreneur. She is an author, a speaker, and influencer. And now Shannon is, through her company, Tough Skin, Soft Heart, has a card line. She's partnering with American Greetings, and she will be in well over 1,500 Target stores nationwide with her material. And so really want to lift up Shannon. That's just a major accomplishment, very big deal. And many of us have known Shannon for a long time. Shannon was a Grand Valley grad and again, has stuck around and is doing really, really big things. You can actually find her stuff also in Bridge Street Market and other local stores. But again, the fact that she is now recognized nationally is just another, again, a big deal, because I think with that, she's again, further doing an even greater job of putting the 616 on the map. So I just want to recognize those two. Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks, Commissioner. Thank you for listening of those individuals. And I know all of us are so excited for Shannon, and she's just a true inspiration. So thank you for that. Let me turn to our appointed officials. City Attorney, anything to add tonight?
No, Mayor, thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you. City Clerk?
Yeah, just one thing for tonight. Today was the deadline for any taxing authority or any group that wanted to file for the proposals or anything for the May election. Our friends at Kentwood Public Schools are putting on a millage question on the May election. So yay, we're gonna have a May election. So that'll be precincts 51, 54, 6, 7, and 8. We'll combine them like we did in May of 2019 in one polling location. But we'll send out notices to all the voters who don't vote at Brookside Christian Reformed Church. We'll make sure Commissioner Lanier doesn't have to find a new place to vote. So And so, so we will, I got Commissioner Jones to laugh at that. I see that.
I know, I really wish you wouldn't have said that.
So anywho, so we'll have an election, the precincts will be open, we'll have absentees. So that's the only election that we know of for this year.
Okay, thank you, City Clerk.
Mayor, may I ask Joe a question?
Sure.
I thought you were referring to 2021 as no election year or something like that.
I said unless a special election was called. So I knocked on every piece of wood that I could find.
And now the gloating is no longer.
Right.
Right. Thank you. All right, so let me turn to our city manager. City manager?
Thank you, Mayor. I think I get twice the amount of time since I couldn't unmute last time. So thank you all for your work today. I want to thank city staff as usual for all the hard work that they've done. This is Black History Month, and I want to thank our employee resource group for continuing to highlight the importance of history within our organization and partnering with community to remember the various celebrations. And our very own President Ford helped to underscore the importance of Black history nationally under his tenure. And so I want to thank you for participating in the Mayor's Communities Conversation. I understand there's going to be a virtual conversation on the 24th around the city within the city, and Dr. Jelks and Dr. Robinson, along with T.A.L. Amin, I believe, will be part of that conversation. So look forward to hearing that. I too also want to thank the staff today for the work, and our CFO for the financial update. Also, there was good work doing fiscal committee and to reported on the extension of our hyper local purchasing preference. And shouts out to AJ Hills and Patty Caudill and all of our staff for making sure we increase the MLB participation in our community. And my continued appreciation to Ms. Bohaj and the work that she continues to do around housing and community development, and you as well in terms of your approval of the 5-year regional community development and housing plan. And I also echo the comments on the amphitheater and how transformational that project will be in many ways to our community, in addition to the public venue, but also the other community benefits that the project will create. And I'm looking forward to our conversation on the 23rd, when we'll continue to talk about some of the important things that are going on. But as we look forward to the remainder of this year, I'm looking forward to hearing from our police department on an update of their strategic plan, and as well as our planning department. I'm really, really excited and really have been just eager to hear about the updates and involvement on the master plan, and looking forward to that conversation. So thank you.
Thank you, City Manager. And I'll just add a couple more things tonight. Appreciate you talking about some of the great events happening this month to celebrate Black History Month. I know many of them are virtual, but there are a number of them being hosted throughout our community. In addition to our public museum, we also have our public library that will be hosting a whole host of events. So encourage people to participate there. I also want to add my thanks to Jen Schwab and others who helped organize the listening sessions as we came together to listen to individuals who live near and around Hartside in downtown. I really appreciated that opportunity. And then 2 other announcements. I'm not sure if all of you have heard, but the Rapid, we did select and hire a new CEO. Her name is Deborah Prado, and she'll be starting with us next month. She comes to us from New York City, so she has extensive experience in public transit, both in small systems in Rochester. She was in Rochester for a number of years, but has been in New York City for the last several. So we're excited to welcome her to Grand Rapids. I'm sure all of you will have an opportunity to meet her, and I'll make sure that she reaches out to you. And then secondly, if you haven't heard yet, our Grand Rapids Housing Commission also made a decision about who they selected for the next CEO of our Grand Rapids Housing Commission. And they selected Lindsay Reams. So she comes to us from HUD. She has quite a bit of experience working with HUD. Before working with HUD, she was at the Detroit Housing Commission. So I'll be eager. I haven't met her yet, but I'll be eager to meet her as we continue to work on issues related to low-income and affordable housing. I see the Grand Rapids Housing Commission as key partners with us in this work. So hopefully all of us will get a chance to meet her pretty soon as well. So with that, I will close this meeting. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will look forward to seeing you all again soon. So have a good night, everyone.